So, good afternoon. My name is Paul Lias, and today I will speak about the lessons learned from the S-Cube on mechanical and structural development. In 2008, a group of students came together, and we had a dream back then, and we wanted to build the first satellite in Estonia. And one of the mission goals were, for sure, we wanted to make a picture from Estonia and be with a picture on the front of the main newspapers in Estonia. And here is one of the pictures we made, and we made many others, and with a really good quality. Today, I will speak about the development from S-Cube 1, about lessons learned, and also about the status of our eSail experiment. So, what is exactly S-Cube? As most of you know, S-Cube is one unit CubeSat, an educational project which was built by 4 major universities in Estonia, and also research institutions in Europe. We started the development in 2008, and the satellite was launched in 2013, beginning of May, from Kourou. The mission was to test, or is to test, the electric solar wind sail. So here we have a nice slide about the development process from S-Cube, how the satellite developed from the very beginning until the end. As you can see, our one idea in the project was learning by doing, and we started really with the basic design. We started to print the satellite, and here in the end, you can see that we could make real spacecraft with the detailed design, and everything was perfect, more or less. And now I will speak more about subsystems in mechanical part. Here is the antenna deployment system. It was more or less a really successful system because we had no problems with it, and the communication system is working perfectly. Here on the top you can see 3 different solutions we had in mind, and we selected the right one. So we milled it out from one piece of aluminium. We did it because of that to reduce the number of parts, so the assembly procedure would be much easier. And we started the testing with we made the first prototypes basically from scratch to see how the springs will work, how the melting mechanisms will work, so really low cost. Later we did really prototypes, and we changed the measurement tape to beryllium copper. And there on the right side you can see the fully assembled antenna deployment system which was launched. So the frame, as you can see from the picture, we used a monoblock frame. In the beginning we were thinking that it would be a really good solution, but it wasn't actually. Of course, if you're doing a frame from the monoblock, it has perfect tolerances, but it has much other difficulties. For example, the integration process will take much more time, and it's quite complicated. For example, we needed for the final assembly 6 hours, and also the manufacturing is quite complicated, and it takes a lot of time and money. So in our case, we can say that it's worth to make actually a modular structure, because in this case you have much more opportunities to play with the integration process. Also, we didn't use the materials said in the CubeSat specifications, because we noticed that in Europe it was much easier, much faster to get the aluminium 6082 T6. So, and basically in engineering point of view there were no differences. So because of that we used, and everything went okay, and we could launch our satellite. Lessons learned from vibration testing. Vibration testing is one of the most complicated tests, for example, at least for us. Here you can see a picture on the shaker. The satellite is inside the fixture. But during the tests we had many problems. For example, the satellite we assembled, not all of the screws were fixed correctly. So during the tests, some of them unscrewed themselves. So it means that, as you can see on the right picture there, we had to disassemble the satellite during the tests because we had to take the loose parts out and fix them again. So it wasn't that nice. And we had also another accident. As you can see there on the picture, here and there, you can see something, some powder, and it's aluminium. So we managed to destroy our payload during the tests. And in this time we had like two weeks until the delivery of the spacecraft, and it was during Christmas. So we were really in a hurry to get to repair the payload and to get a new one. So what we learned from it is that if you have really some expensive parts or some components which are really hard to get, use mass dummies for qualification tests, because otherwise you can get really in trouble and all the mission can get lost because of some stupid mistakes. And also, if you are using screws, then also for testing, if you know that after the test you will have to anyway to disassemble the spacecraft, fix them as hard as you can, because otherwise it will also cause a lot of trouble during testing. Also, we learned a lot when the satellite was on orbit. We discovered that we have a magnetic disturbance 1.5 times the coil maximum output. It was caused probably by ferromagnetic bolts and battery casting, which were from stainless steel. And what we learned here is that be careful which materials you use and never double check it, because of that we had many problems with attitude and termination control. Of course, these were problems which we could use, but still it's something that couldn't have happened, but we knew it, that it will go like this. During the development process, we learned a lot, and because of that we developed everything in-house and by ourselves. As a result, we have done many spin-off companies from the ESTCube project, and one of the companies is, for example, PSpace, which is specialized in nanosatellite and also microsatellite mechanics. Here are some nanosatellite products which we will also use for our next project in the Estonian CubeSat project, which will be hopefully launched in the next years. So we have structures, antenna deployment systems, solar panel deployment system, which are based on the experience and knowledge we got from the ESTCube project. So maybe the main question all the people are asking us, what's the status of the experiment? And we can say that we have started with the experiment now. We have burned the lock from the end mass. We have burned also the real lock. So basically everything should be open now. We have run the motor for 70 seconds. It means that the tether should be out around 8 centimeters. But we had no change in angular velocity, and we had also we couldn't see end mass on the pictures. It means that the tether is not out yet. So currently we are working on it to get it out and searching for problems. And the next step was to spin up the satellite to 840 degrees per second, and in reverse direction to the previous spin-up, and we achieved it. It's currently, to our knowledge, it should be the world record, and we could even spin up much higher, 1,000 or more. Yesterday we tried to burn the locks again, and the real lock also, and today we reeled again. So hopefully in the next days we will know more what's going on. Yeah. Thank you for your attention, and please ask your questions or contact me later.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions from the audience? Maybe you could elaborate on the final aim again on this, on the tether technology. It's actually quite interesting. Is it just a test now?
It's yeah, we are just testing how to. It's one part of the electric solar wind sail, so we are trying to like test one part of the solar wind sail, and here it is one picture. Here you can see the aluminium tether, which we will try to reel out, but it sounds everything easy, but it's a really complicated mission actually. And because the anti-determination control has to work perfectly, and also the tether itself is really thin, and for the reeling out we use this kind of engine there. It will be 10 meters long in our mission. So.
I think it's a precursor to a propulsion system for interplanetary missions. Is that correct?
Yes, it's correct. So basically, the idea is it's electrical. So it means that we don't need to take some additional propulsion, some gas or something else with us. So it makes the spacecraft much more lighter and also faster.
Thank you very much. Good luck with your further proceeding to sail. And I would like to ask the next speaker to come to the stage.